melted down into a puddle. My anchor broke, and I've been flung around in a spinny barge. Barge in and told her how I feel, but I barged into a society of wealth and privilege. I climb up in a world without gravity, make my way to the door, except when she rejects me, she pushes me back, and sideways becomes down, and I'm falling back through the door, onto the street, and a curse brings me back to my home, and I close the door and float to my keyboard. I'm limited by my passion, for they scream out and across my arms and remain still as hard. Harder than granite when it crumbles in the house of cards, float away, up, down. Let's address the issue head on. My head is gone and I float in the stars. Their fire pulled into me and drawn through my veins. I'm anger, unleashed in a whisper upon keys. Yet none of that matters, for this is drawn down not into form, but speaking back at me like a robot. Maybe these scrawlings are a robot, because the words and pages reflect back at me like photos becoming mirrors, and I want to scale this pit I've fallen into, yet my hands are caked with too much mud, and if I were a star, I would collapse, and you would get nothing from darkness. How is it different from what the spirals turning into arrows around the center forcing in? I must build walls and barricade with terms such as it's all right, it's fine, but it's not. I get more wounded each day, and yet I heal and push forward, going into my strongest form. I must never break. I am bound to my fate, and upon those bounds my arms have grown into shields to put between myself and others. I must never be hurt again, and it's around every corner. So isolate, fall back into the shadows, and creep these notes. Look, I collapsed like any star, but maybe there's more to this black hole. For what light should I let you have? You stars who shine bright will I turn into a darkness that I must face alone. And yet I do posture up and put the rage into my shoulders and arms, where I then rock regally. I take power back, as I've never been so strong. Like a marionette whose strings have worked for the first time, I bend into motion and overtake my opponents. Sure, I emerge as a champion, but if I must write down such a story, would I not tear the heavens down and write for you? Disorient your expectations for that work, then. For I grapple to no bearings, entering into the depth of prosperity and writing of an Eden that you know not of. The mind can wrap ribbon around itself and bury the greatness deep inside. But recoil as I do, I've found section of human power many times. Its flow breathes into me and through me. Now I whisper quietly in the unread pages, waiting for you to reach a hand into the void and draw yourself closer. What is society? It's a bleak transmission between the masses, a cluster of regard for one another I speak of but know not of, and that there is a self. The telescope stares at the heavens. Hold that image then and look at yourself at the other end of the telescope, and in two places you have grasped my frustrations. For the soul is within us, and many have forgotten. So I take a strength seen as worthless as the ground beneath us and the waters of the earth. I draw my hands forward to swing hard against all that has kept me down. Striking the page with a pen, I cross out the writing I would have done and have done if I were you, but I am not, and a refusal to be is the start of my healing. A broken stallion mended by the angels of the heavens, and I rise to hit a great stride, for nothing will stop the reach up of a flower to get a glimpse of the sun, for the flower stares at the sun all day trying to become stronger in the heavens' warmth of embracing light. I spin in confusion, I've seen nothing but polarity in opposition to mine. Be not strong, be soft. Be not the best, but join the masses in the sleep of commonality. Come back to us, come to us, the masses under the boots of its oppressors. Let media fill your mind with tedium, be bewildered by any but the most striking thoughts and ideas on the very land you grew up in. I may have been raised here, but I reject everything, all of it. I've no pride in what is, and I find it hard to envy you yours. So as I push up against the encroaching dome of screens with lies in a holographic world where you crush the different, I see beyond the buffoonery of it all. If you want for 1 second to tell me that I'm wrong, then cry me a river, because it is so strong, the notion. I could be so much more, if I could reach beyond the curtain, but every time I join with you, the theater upon the stage, to act my part, I crumble before the money comes into my hand. I'm defeated by the multitude zigzagging past me on the sidewalk. These persons are bent on reality, a new anomaly of perspective, and yet I've honed yours to see only one truth. The world for me wasn't this easy. Why should I surrender to optimism? Society left me as a broken corner with little churn. But I do return to bring you this message. It's from the multitude of suffering. They got a demand. If you look back in yourself, you look back at me with an answer that's not. I got nothing for you but a policeman's baton to keep you down, and when you protest too loud, a mace to show your eyes the sting of seeing my form. Is it the suits? Is it the giant monuments, the money they put up in the city to block out the sun? Is it the bars of the cage I see forming around me when I protest with the truth? Listen, hear me, I'm an echoless, once-in-a-lifetime glimpse of a high essence lying in a box under your bed. When you dream, go there and open up the box, and your subconscious will tell you the same thing I'm telling you now. The million images belong together for you as a greater understanding. Maybe there's some true love at the end of your unfelt sadness. You gotta learn humanity. Man, that's all I learned.